My name is Milton Powell, better known as Mike. When I retired, I was a chief electrician's mate, 22 years in the Navy. And after that, that's when I started going on aircraft carriers. I went to the USS Enterprise. I was aboard that for a while, short period of time, less than a year. And we were kind of overstaffed with electricians on the Enterprise. And at that time, they were building the USS America, so they needed men for the America, so they just, the Enterprise at the time happened to be in the shipyard in Newport News, and that's where the America was being built, so they just sent me across the pier, just transferred me over to the America. Well, that's like, wow, man, I don't think I ever saw a ship, you know, battleship was big, but an aircraft carrier is huge. So going down the pier and seeing that, I mean, I was like, you know, the way the sun was, I was like in the dark of the shadow of the ship. So it was quite an experience.
Fantastic.
And almost the same experience I felt when I walked aboard that battleship, because at the time, that was one of the biggest ships I had ever seen.
Right.
I was an old farm boy off of a farm, you know, and I hadn't even seen the ocean. The biggest thing I saw was a river and a lake. So it was quite an experience to see a battleship, but more so when you see an aircraft carrier, because it is huge and it gives you a lot of sense of pride in your country. And made a lot of good friends in the Navy, and I'm sure I made some that wasn't so much friends, but that all gets worked out in the end. So I was on pre-com, the ship in commission, which was January the 23rd of 1965. It went in commission, and I stayed aboard it until 1968. And we helped the USS Liberty that had been attacked in the Mediterranean, and many of the men were killed or wounded, and we were one of the first ships on the scene, and we took a lot of the men aboard our ship and triaged them medically, and I think saved some of their lives. Of course, a lot of the guys did not make that and were in the hull of the Liberty, dead, and that ship went on off to Italy. But I think that was probably the most memorable event militarily in the Navy that I experienced. Always that we went to general quarters right away. I mean, I'm an engineer and I'm down in the hold, but then they call away general quarters, and then you have to go to your general quarters station, and that's what I did. I was an electrician, so I was on the switchboard, but you could hear about everything over the sound-powered system. You knew what was going on.
Okay.
And then later, I got relieved from my watch, and I was able to go up topside and assist in what was happening, and it was rather traumatic, but it was a good thing that you knew you was helping your shipmates, and because the ship was in really dire straits. It was about to sink, and it was on fire. But of course, the fire was put out. The Liberty crew put the fire out, and they kept the ship afloat. So it was quite an experience. That's something I'll never forget.